Hello and welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I'm Dr. Stephen Ramos, Associate Medical Director with HealthTexas Primary Care Doctors. And every week we're going to bring you a video with special guests discussing important health topics. All right, well, welcome again for another Wellness Wednesday. And today I have Dr. Francisco Torres joining me today. He's one of our doctors at our Southwest Military Clinic. Dr. Torres, welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't you go ahead and give us a little introduction about yourself and how long you've been with the group and your practice.
Well, my name is Francisco Torres. I am originally from El Salvador. I've been in San Antonio for the past 5 years and with HealthTexas for the past 5 years as well. I'm at the Southwest Military location, so we cover mostly, South Side, and we're happy to serve the community there, and very, very enjoyable time with our population there.
You guys have a brand new clinic as well, right?
Beautiful facility. Yes. We're very happy with it. So, come around and, come by and see it. It's an amazing place.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah. We'll put some information for the address and phone number, of course, and visit our website if you want to get some more information on Dr. Torres. Dr. Torres, you are accepting new patients at this time. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Fantastic. So if you need a new primary care doctor, give us a call, go to our website, and schedule an appointment with Dr. Torres. And so today we are going to talk about healthy eating tips for the holidays. And really, I don't know about you, but a lot of people don't like coming and seeing me in January time or even December because they know that I'm going to add 5 or so pounds and exactly. Dr. Ramos is going to get all mad at me and so forth. Yeah. So what are some things that, to those listening out there that we can do to, make sure that doesn't happen during the holiday season?
Yeah. So one of the things that, we address and try to tell our patients is what are the specific goals, and for some people it may be weight, for some people it may be sugar, blood pressure. Many different things can be affected by the foods we eat during the holidays. So specific goals is going to be very important. Are you diabetic? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you want to maintain or why not lose some weight during the holidays? There are some specific recommendations that we make, and it's a big psychological game, really. During the holidays, a lot of really good food and a lot of emotional eating, a lot of celebration around food. That's what we do. And specific goals, that's something that I usually tell my patients. A big one, is don't skip meals. Many times people save some space for the feast, and that's a common thing. We're gonna have all this delicious food. Let's not eat breakfast. Let's not eat dinner. Lunch, so that we're ready for dinner. And we can enjoy more of the good food, right? So that's when we have those spikes in sugars, those spikes in blood pressure. If you're, we're in San Antonio, so margaritas and, with some salt on the rim. And, so people start having problems with their blood pressure or retaining fluids if they have heart issues. So that's going to be very important. Don't go to the party hungry, basically. Try to have a snack, eat something before you go. That way you're not starving by the time you get there.
Yeah. And, I like your tidbit of having a goal going through the holidays of, having an idea that, all right, I don't want to gain that extra 5 or 10 pounds that always happens. I don't want to go through that every year so that, New Year's resolution comes by. Okay, now I'm going to get it set. Maintain your goals that you've had throughout the entire year. Even if you're reasonably healthy, maybe if you're not even overweight or you don't have any medical conditions, it's a really easy time of the year to just kind of relax a little bit. Sun goes down early, maybe not exercising as much, not going out as much, and party after party or get together after get together with family and say, well, I don't normally eat this, all the time, but I'll go ahead. It's the holidays, whatnot. And I think what I tell patients to do is just be aware of what you're about to eat and what you're about to do. And if you're thinking about it and it's on the forefront of your mind of, you know what, I still need to stay healthy and make some good decisions here, I think it ends up being a little bit easier than most people think. So how about, you know, tidbits on that note of, you know, you go to a Thanksgiving party or breakfast or lunch or dinner, you know, when they look down at their plate, what are some things to kind of avoid maybe eating, or, you know, some strategies on how to pick the right foods?
Yeah, so you talk and listen to, you know, recommendations that nutritionists give usually is look at your plate, 50% of your plate, make sure that it's not, you know, a lot of the unhealthier options, you know, high carb, high fat options, you know, try to make sure that 50% of your plate is filled with vegetables and salads, and then add, you know, some turkey, you know, in this case, for example, we're closer to Thanksgiving, and try to skip on the, you know, on the gravies and things like that, to try to make your plate a little bit more balanced.
Yeah. I think something that I'll tell a lot of patients is, you know, when you look down, you should see colorful foods. If it's really
That is correct.
bland,
That's a great strategy.
lots of whites and browns and just, you know, all the same color, and chances are maybe I didn't pick the right stuff. But if you're looking down, you see lots of greens and reds and orange, and, you know, chances are you made some good decisions there, and don't have to be too nuanced with what you eat. And how about any tips about, you know, preventing overeating? Because I think that's another big thing that we do during the holidays is we just tend to eat a lot more than we typically do, and probably a lot more than we should. You have any tips on that?
Yeah, so, you know, as I mentioned before, you know, make sure that you're eating. You know, have breakfast, have lunch before the party. Have a small snack, a healthy snack, some, you know, fruit or a few carrots or nuts before you go to the family gathering. Also, you know, try not to stay too close to the food. You know, it's you know, it's a psychological game, and you know, you're more likely to go for seconds or even thirds if you have the food very close to you as well. Sleep well. You know, it's people are having a lot of parties. You're tired. You're more likely to overeat if you are sleep deprived. A lot of these things we forget about. And also staying physically active. You know, you don't necessarily have to run a marathon every day, but, you know, go for a walk in your hour, and, you know, every other day, or go for a walk after the party, or engage in those, you know, they have the turkey trots and half marathons and 5-mile runs and things like that, usually the day after Thanksgiving, for example. So that can help you, you know, balance a little bit of what you may have eaten the day before. And these are good strategies to compensate for that extra.
Yeah.
Extra we get every.
Kind of like having the goal and having a mindset of, you know, what you want to accomplish during the holidays and what you hopefully don't want to see happen during the holidays with excessive eating and so forth. But, you know, stick to your routine. Get your good amount of sleep. Go to bed at the same time if you can. Wake up at the same time. You know, that drastically affects your appetite and your hunger and a lot of those things that can prevent a lot of that overeating. If you're in a good exercise routine, you know, maintain that throughout the entire holiday season. I think the danger is not so much having the one meal on Thanksgiving that you overdo. It's really the 4 or 5 days in a row or the weeks in a row of just constantly overeating, you know, falling off the wagon with the diet. Try to maintain a pretty good routine that you've had, especially if it's been successful. If you've done a good job of getting healthy and, you know, eating healthy and losing weight or maintaining your weight, not during the holiday season, just keep that up through the holiday season. And I think you can afford to have those couple meals here and there where, you get to enjoy.
I totally agree. Yeah.
But just, you know, maintain that routine so you're not having to play catch up the next year.
Yeah.
So another thing that and you touched on a little bit before, is if you have certain medical conditions, there really are some foods and some things that you can do that can actually be pretty dangerous for you. So skipping meals is a big one. You know, if you have diabetes or other medical conditions and are taking certain medications, skipping meals can be actually very dangerous. If you're on insulin or taking other medicines, your blood sugars could actually drop pretty tremendously. Yeah. So you don't necessarily want to do that. Again, stay on your routines, do the things that you've normally been doing if you've been healthy and staying well. The other thing is for people with heart conditions and high blood pressure, the salt. Sodium and salt, and especially holiday diets, is really high. Really high. So what are things that, some patients, if you're out there listening and you do have high blood pressure or heart issues, what are some maybe signs and symptoms to look out for if you've, maybe overdone it a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be, very important to watch your weight. If you have a tendency to retain fluid, that can lead to problems decompensating your heart condition. 2, 3, 4, even 5 pounds in a couple of days. That's not a good sign. Contact your primary care doctor. You may have to compensate with some of the medications to kind of balance that. You may start feeling a little bit short of breath as well. If you're diabetic, of course, you'll notice your increased urination. You'll notice that your sugars are higher. You may have to adjust the medications a little bit if things are going to continue uncontrolled. So, there are many things. Always talk to your primary care doctor. What do I look for? Your primary care should know your condition, your health the best, and you should work together. That way you would prevent, any of these decompensations during this time.
Yeah.
Alcohol is a big one as well. We forget about, mentioning that, and it can decompensate. You have liver issues, kidney issues. You're on a blood thinner and you drink excessively. That can also lead to different problems, bleeding. So it has to be very, very targeted, very custom made, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You have to talk about the specific goals with your primary care doctor.
Yeah, and I think something that at HealthTexas we do well. I know that you and I both, we spend a lot of time with our patients, and we get to spend that time with our patients, and a lot of it is us making decisions about getting them their medical problems under control, but also making sure that they're aware of their medical problems, making sure
exactly.
that if they have heart failure or heart problems and high blood pressure, that we've told them and expressed, hey, you need to stay away from the salt, you need to do this and that, and if you do notice that you're getting some swelling around your legs or you've gained a couple pounds in a few days, you need to call me and let me know that. So talk to your primary care doctor, make sure you really understand the medical conditions that are affecting you. And ask for healthy tips. If you struggle with this every year and it's something that you don't want to have to go through this year, talk with us, talk with your primary care doctor. We can definitely give you some more advice that's custom tailored to you and your medical conditions. Because we want to enjoy the holidays and be safe. And that's the whole point of us talking today is, nutrition and diet and so forth. But, stretching on another limb, because I think we have to talk about it during the time. But, staying safe during the holidays, there's a lot of gatherings and people coming in and visitors from out of town. So what are some other tips that we can give to those who are listening about how to stay safe during the holidays?
Yeah, so it's important. When we serve a lot of the population we serve are 65 and older, and mobility issues. May become you go visit your daughter's son's house, and you're not in your usual environment. Your vision may not be 100%. You need some assistive devices to move around. Driving, remember, some of these people may not be driving very safely during the holidays, so not exposing yourself to an accident, things like that. A lot of different things that we have to think about when we move, 80-year-old grandma out of her comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
We should pay attention more about her environment when she's at a different place.
Yeah. So, being aware of your family members, making sure that, they have the support. If someone's not looking good, asking, make sure they're feeling okay. We want to avoid any kind of falls. And, if you are traveling for the holidays and you do take medications, make sure you remember to bring them. That's
very,
another
very good point.
big
Yes.
thing that I run into problems where people go on, nice long vacations and oops, I forgot the blood pressure medicine or forgot my diabetes medications. You want to make sure that you pack some. And I usually tell my patients pack a little bit extra just in case, something gets delayed or you lose your luggage or something like that for a day or two. You have those medications on backup. And then, one of the last things to mention is, safety as far as infections. Before COVID, we talked about flu. November, December is peak flu season, and let alone a lot of other viruses and infections that can affect pretty much everybody. And we have COVID again on top of everything this year. Thankfully, things are a little bit quiet right now, but we don't know what's in store for the next couple months. So what are some tips as far as, making sure that we're getting together as, families and friends and we're doing so safely?
Yeah. So we have a lot of, this is going to be a very different year in comparison to last year. Vaccination is available now and encouraging everyone to get vaccinated so that we can enjoy the company of others without having to mask and keep distance and all of that. We still have to take precautions. You can still get sick, but that's going to be one of the big ones. Not only COVID vaccine, flu vaccine, pneumonia vaccine for patients 65 and above. It's going to be very, very important as well. We can get exposed to different things. Travelers' diarrhea as well. Watching just general hygiene, washing our hands when we travel. All of these things are going to be important. Someone that is in frail condition, 2-3 day really bad gastrointestinal problem with lots of diarrhea and vomiting can just get them off course, and they can end up in the hospital with several different problems.
Yeah, I think one of the getting vaccinated, flu, pneumonia, COVID, of course, when you're thinking about having people over, you're thinking about visiting. I think we're at a time now where it's appropriate to ask those questions where, hey, has everyone been vaccinated and so forth? It's important as far as reducing everybody's risk, as far as, infecting others and getting sick, not just from COVID, but from a lot of different things. And one of the few things that I think that we learned during the pandemic and we need to continue to practice is if you don't feel well, stay away from people.
Yes.
Even if it's not COVID.
That's a great point.
Yeah. I got tested for COVID last week. I'm okay. It's just a cold. Well, a cold can still do a lot of damage. And so I know it's a bummer sometimes maybe to plan a vacation or plan a trip and you want to go see people that maybe we haven't seen in a while. And if you're not feeling well, maybe the best thing to do is just to stay at home. Yeah. Until you're feeling better.
Don't go and risk it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the same point, if you're at a party or another get together and you notice someone over in the corner coughing and sneezing and, constantly blowing their nose, well, maybe keep your distance from them and, wash your hands and do everything that we've kind of learned during this pandemic. And just if you keep those practices up, hopefully we're not burdened with a lot of, other things and recycling of, peaks and waves and so forth. So don't forget, our precautions and everything we learned over the last year. We want everyone to get together and enjoy the holidays safely. And, diet, nutrition, and being aware of what we're eating, equally important is being aware of what's around you and how you're feeling. And the bottom line is if you're not feeling well, you should probably stay away from people.
That is correct. And that's a big point. And again, it's going to be a very emotional year because many of us didn't have the chance or the opportunity to share with family members and friends last year. So there's a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
But we still have to, be careful. Don't vilify or, demonize that one meal. Yeah. And enjoy it. Just be careful and don't overdo it. As you mentioned, 4 or 5 times a week, and so all of that is going to be important. It's going to be a great year, a lot better than last year for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that if people continue to take all those precautions, we're not going to see these huge increases and spikes in cases again.
Yeah. So again, hopefully everyone has good plans and is looking forward to this holiday season and getting together with loved ones and friends and doing so safely. Keep your health in the forefront of your mind to make sure you're doing good decisions at the dinner table and lunch table. And just remember to protect yourself and protect the ones you love by, if you're not feeling well, stay at home, stay away. Well, Dr. Torres, thank you for coming on here and educating our listeners and helping me talk through a healthy holiday season for everybody. Again, Dr. Francisco Torres over at our Southwest Military Clinic is accepting new patients currently. If you want to know more information, get on our website and you can read more about Dr. Torres, or give the clinic a call and meet him in person and go see how great a doctor he is.
Thank you very much for having me, and have a great holiday season, everyone.
Absolutely. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us for Wellness Wednesday. Again, I'm Dr. Stephen Ramos with HealthTexas Primary Care Doctors. If you have any questions or want to reach out to us, our phone number is 210-731-4800, or you can visit us on our website at healthtexas.org.